Okay. Masters. That is loud. This is low masters Ana Vod. It's a friend of mine. Nicely. So, your Bap's already healing the Reinhardt. There's no need to throw that nade there. That's a waste of a nade. Um, your Bap's healing him. You're healing him. You don't really need the bonus healing. He can put up his shield. It's only Pharah and Sigma spamming him. So, I don't think that's a good nade. It's better to save it for purples or when he actually needs the extra boost in healing. So like now, when he's getting ulted by Sigma, would be a great time for a nade, right? So then you can keep him up. But you still managed to. Please go for a purple here. Nice sleep. Let's see that again. So you throw the nade on him when he has invulnerability field. Baptiste just used his shift, and Baptiste throwing right clicks into him too. So there's no need to throw a defensive nade here. You get so much more value out of the nade if you throw it right here and hit. You get a big purple there. With Ana, especially in this meta where you're against double shield most of the time, and it's hard to go for purples. You want to go for the purples whenever you can. Take every opportunity you can get, and especially now when your team is pretty good on healing, you have the field, you're not gonna die anytime soon. Feel free to just throw that nade, just chuck it in there, get a big nade, you win the fight. Nano's probably not necessary. Was it necessary, actually? Let's see before you use it. So, they have no Ana right now. So that means their only healer is Mercy. Which means they don't have that much healing. Because she's going to be wanting to stay with Pharah. So, as soon as you get rid of the Ana, even though you lost your McCree, it's a pretty safe assumption to assume that you're going to win this fight soon. So, you should not use any ults. You should plan to not use any ults this fight, because you've basically already won. Their only healer is Mercy, and she can't do that much healing. Especially if she's staying with Pharah. And Doomfist just killed the enemy Orisa too. So they're down 2 now. Ana's still on her way back. She's respawned, but she's still on the way back. So you're up 1. There's no need to ult. And you do. Was it a bad ult? Probably. Like, Zarya didn't really... They didn't do anything. You didn't save the Zarya's life. You didn't allow her to, like, melt the entire enemy team. Just nanoed her, and the fight was already won. Your Doomfist popped off. So it's much better... It would have been much better to save that there. Okay. So, you're in a pretty good spot here. You're in kind of a bad spot here, like position-wise, but then you realize, hey, they're pushing in, I need to back up, get into a better position. So you do that, which is good. You back out to the corner and you hide around the edge, which is good. You're in a good spot here. You can heal your team. It's very hard for the enemy team to go for you. And then you walk into the enemy team. And then you die. So, I know why you walked in. You walked in because you wanted to get an ante on the Zarya grab, right? But... Which is fine. However, the problem was you, like, tunnel visioned in on the grab. You're like, oh, Zarya grabbed, I need to nade. And then you didn't see the ball here go up. I assume you didn't see him anyways. Because then He slams down and kills your BAP. Not only that, you also miss the Pharah get rezzed and ult. Right? She ults for a solid, that's like a solid second before you finally notice her and sleep her. And by that time, she's already killed your Reinhardt. And at this point, it's a lost fight. You lost your BAP, you lost your main tank. You don't win this. Especially since you got slammed by the ball too. So... So what should you have done? You should have recognized that the Pharah got rezzed, and that she might have Grav soon, or Barrage soon, just so like you need to be looking out for that, because your sleep just cancels it immediately, and it's very easy to sleep her because she's not moving. And then here, when the Zarya grabs, you need to not tunnel vision right into the Grav. You should have seen the ball go up. You can still see him on your screen, but because you're looking here, you don't see the ball here, right? And you don't see Mercy here either. And I think that's Ana next to Mercy. Instead of anteing the Grav, which would have been a good ante, you could have also anteed the Ana and the Mercy and try to duel them away from the team, right? Or tell your team that. Or you could have noticed the Pharah coming in here, probably going for a barrage, because she's being kind of sneaky. So the biggest reason why you lost this fight was because you tunnel visioned into the Grav, and you're like, okay, Zarya grabbed, I need to ante it. Yes, it's good to ante the Grav, but you shouldn't just be focused only in on that Grav. Because you do get the nade off, I think. Or do you even, actually? The Sigma might have blocked the nade, actually. Yeah, you don't even get the nade off. Sigma blocks the nade. They're not antied over here. So, your nade was useless. You get slammed by the ball. Pharah barrages and kills your Reinhardt. And the Ana Mercy. Ana's still alive, Mercy's still alive. So what would have been better is to either look at the ball slamming down and try to sleep him, look at the Pharah about to barrage, try to sleep her, or the easiest thing you could have done that would have had the most impact, I think, was to just simply throw a nade here and shoot them. Because you need 2 shots once they're naded, right, to kill 200 health target. And then they would have been pretty easy. You would have been able to at least get 1 shot off. And then you would have either been able to get a kill or scare them away from healing the people in the Grav. So then your team can kill the people in the Grav. So okay. So you just switch to pharmacy here to counter their pharmacy, I assume. This means that you're going to be the main source of healing to your team, because the Mercy, if she's doing her job right, is going to be staying with the Pharah most of the time, right? So then at this point you should be like, okay, I have to do all the healing to my team. I should focus more on healing nades this time rather than looking for anti-nades, which is what you've been doing anyways, so that's okay. But it's still good to recognize what healers you have on your team and recognize how much healing you have to do, so that, you know, if you have, you know, Ana Mercy with a Pharah, you're not DPSing most of the time like you would if you had like a BAP or more as your other healer. I don't know about that ante. So he comes in, you ante him, and he gets out. But even if you didn't ante him, he would want to be getting out anyways, because his healers don't have line of sight of him right now. They also have an Ana Mercy. And if Ana has line of sight of the ball, that means she's either pushed up super far, which means it's good for you guys, or she's like got a super awkward angle, which is bad for her. So you could have saved that ante, I think. Had you had a nade there, you would have been able to save your Zarya. And then because your Zarya dies, you can't really push in, and then you end up losing. And you get slammed by ball again, don't you? Yeah. So you can see the ball shooting. He's behind you right now. But of course you have to heal your Ryan, so that's fine. There's a lost fight. There's nothing you could do. Again, you have pharmacy, so you're gonna have to be doing most of the healing. That's good. Don't chase ball. Nice sleep. Don't go. Don't go. Don't go. Don't. Please don't throw your nade on him. Because it's you by yourself. You're not going to be able to do anything to the ball. Especially with the Ana and the Sigma right there. No. No, 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 no. Okay. You should die here. If they're smart, you should die here. Don't take the duel with the Sigma. He should kill you. They should, yeah. Okay. Let's just rewatch that. Ball goes away, and you decide to chase the ball. You have 2 picks. It's fine. They don't really need you right now, I suppose, because you have 2 picks. You get to sleep on the ball. Super nice. But look at where the rest of your team is. Pharmacy's here. The rest of your team is here. You are by yourself. What are you going to do to a sleeping ball with the Ana and the Sig right there to help him? Absolutely nothing. As soon as you sleep him, you should be, okay, my job's done. I've delayed him. Go back to the bridge where your pharmacy is. And try to poke out the Pharah maybe. Or you want to get back to your team at this point. There's nothing you can do. You're caught out, way out in the open by yourself. And then, not only do you not back out, you try to... you scare the ball away. Okay, whatever. You somehow get out, which is good. And then at this point, you should be like, okay, maybe that was a dumb mistake. I shouldn't have done that. I'll go back to my team now. You don't. You decide to duel the Sigma. Why? Why? You can't win. Not with the Ana right there. You can't win. Alright. You're up 1. Your Zarya's dead, but your Mercurius killed 2. This should be winnable. What was that nade? I don't think you meant to hit the Ryan, right? Surely you meant to hit the Mercy with that nade. Yeah, you meant to hit the Mercy. Okay, you missed. That's fine. It happens. I don't know why your Reinhardt didn't charge the Sleeping Doomfist, but that's fine. So at this point, you're even. You lost your Pharah, but they lost their Sigma, which is arguably a more important kill, I think. But then your Ryan is dumb, goes balls deep, and suicides, basically. Nice kill on the Doom. But, yeah, there's nothing you could have done there better. Besides, maybe hitting a better nade. Your Ryan was just dumb. It's not your fault. Just leave him there. Just leave him be. There's nothing you can do. Okay, good. Like, recognize that he's there and he's going to be coming in, but don't do anything to him. Oh, almost. You should get out of point now. You come on point to... So, as Ana, you don't really want to ever be fighting on point unless there's a really good reason. Now, Running away from an ulting Doomfist is a really good reason. But as soon as the Doomfist ulted, you should have gotten out. Like, then the reason for that is it's very difficult for you to actually be able to get because you can only heal the people directly in front of you. You don't, especially on a point like this where it's circular and there's like a pillar in the middle. If you want to heal people on the other side of the pillar, you have to walk around to the other side. And maybe the people on the other side are like, oh, my Ana's on the other side. I'll walk around to the other side too. And then you do this ring around the rosy thing and you never heal anyone. That's why it's just better. Like, as soon as the Doom ulted here, you could come here. Since you're already on this side. Just play in this area on the bridge. And then you can see the people on this side of the ring and on the other side of the ring. Or you can go back to where the Doomfist was. That's a little bit more risky. But he's already ulted and used his cooldowns, presumably. You get a nice kill, which is fine. But you're still on point, is the problem. And you're right next to the enemy Sigma. You miss sleep, that's fine. So at this point, you're still even. You have 4 people alive? They have 4 people alive. It's an even fight. It's an even fight. They have ults on point and stuff, but you used ults too. What was that? What was that nade? You hit no one. Had you thrown the nade here and hit these two, that would have been huge, right? Then you probably win that just from that one nade. Instead, you missed the mercy. So, yes, you should take every opportunity you can get to land fat, juicy anti-nades, but you also need to make sure that they actually hit. So if that means you have to take a couple more seconds to actually aim it to guarantee that it hits, that's fine. Do that. It's more important that you get it off and actually activate the anti-nade than it is you do it as fast as humanly possible. So here you're kind of like, oh, there's a Doomfist. You shoot him, you miss the sleep. You're like, okay. And then you see him going for your McCree. And you're like, oh shoot, he's going for my McCree. Do I heal my McCree? Do I damage Doomfist? What do I do? And then you're like, I'm gonna damage Doomfist. And you're like, wait, no, McCree got hurt. I'm gonna heal McCree. And then he dies, and Doomfist has shields, and you can't kill him. Although you still might be able to kill him, actually. You kill him, but you end up wasting nade to do so. When instead, if you just shot him again here, you shot him once already. You shoot him again, he's dead. Like at that point, it's okay to just stay scoped in, and just get the shot off on him, or decide to pocket McCree and just stay scoped in, and scope in and just pocket McCree so he doesn't die. Because you're in a relatively safe position right now. Their entire team is, except for Ball, who's coming back from spawn, on point for the most part, except for Doom. So really, Doom's the only threat to you right now. So there's no reason why you shouldn't be constantly scoped in, except for, to check if someone's actually going to come flank on you. But in this specific instant, in this specific moment of time, you can definitely just be scoped in and shooting down that Doomfist there. Right? You shoot him, you miss, shoot him again. Like, you shoot him, you miss, and you're like, oh. You go for the shot, and you're like, wait, heal McCree. And McCree dies, and Doom doesn't die until you use your nade. But at that point, you've lost already. If you killed the Doomfist there, McCree would have lived, and then Pharah would have. How many people? Pharah killed your Mercy with Barrage. Then you'd still be up McCree. They'd be down Doom. It'd be more even fight. Would you win? Maybe not. You'd have a better chance of winning though. So, the moral of that story is just know when you can and cannot just stay right-clicked and scoped, because you don't always have to be scoped and then unscope to check and then scope in, and you don't always have to be quick scoping with Ana. Quick scoping is a valuable skill to have, but you don't. That was a good nade. You don't always have to be quick scoping. Again, you come on point. Why? There's no point to be on point. You have 3 on point already. By going on point, all you do is cut off your sightlines to your teammates. And put yourself in more danger. Don't play on point as Ana. There's really no need for you to. Obviously, if it's overtime and you need to touch, that's different, right? But in that scenario, there's no need. If it hadn't landed, that was nice. It was a nice idea anyway. You're pushed up a little far. You go back to point again. McCree's sleeping. He can't do anything. Why'd you nano him? If you want to make sure that he doesn't die, you can just stay scoped in and just spam left clicks into him, right? You don't have to nano him. Did you just reload when you're at 12? Oh no, you're out. Okay, never mind. Another bad nade. Doomfist is dead. Doomfist just died to McCree. One shot from you, one left click, will heal him up about that much. He's up to like 75%, 80% of his health at that point. You don't need to waste nade. Especially when your Hammond is basically full health here. Like, he's basically full health. You get very little value out of that nade. Like, you use nade to heal the McCree. The amount of healing that you did to the McCree is about equal to just one left click. So you, instead of just doing one left click, you used an entire 12-second cooldown. 10-second cooldown. So you're moving around a lot when there's no need to. You can just stay still. It'll make you're making shots harder to hit for yourself by moving so much here. The only people, because Doomfist died, so he can't jump on you. Ferret, they don't have Ferret anymore, so you don't have to worry about that. Ball is on point. You can see him, so you don't have to worry about him. The only person you'd have to worry about is McCree, but at this range, he's not going to do that much damage to you. There's enough time for you to walk to the right a little bit out of his line of sight, and then you can't do anything. So you don't have to make your job harder for yourself by moving around and missing shots. That's a nice sleep. At this point, you're reloading, right? There's nothing you can do. You have no cooldowns. You have no shots, so there's literally nothing you can do. You already know who's on point. So take this time to look around to your left, look around to your right, above. Just get a general grasp of where the enemy team is right now. Because earlier, you can play here very safely and not move and not be worried about anyone coming to you and hitting you or whatever, jumping on you, because you know people are dead. But now people have respawned, and you don't know where people are except for the people that have been on point and still are on point. So take this time where you have some downtime, right? You can't shoot anyone, you can't heal anyone, you can't sleep anyone, you can't nade anyone. Just look to the left a bit. Look at the bridge. Look behind you. Look above you. Just look around. Just a quick second until you're done reloading, and then you can go back to healing your team. Just so you can know, okay, do I see people? Am I still okay to be here? Do I need to move? Can I still stay scoped in and not move to make my shots easier? Or do I have to strafe a bit and make my shots easier but guarantee that I stay alive? Or not guarantee, but make it improve my chances of staying alive. So you do end up looking right, but that's because Ball went there. So on Ana, there's going to be a lot of times like that where you can't actually do anything. Either your entire team's full of health and you don't have your nade because you just used it and you don't have sleep, whatever. There's a lot of like moments of downtime for Ana, and you want to take advantage of that time to just scan around the map around you real quick, just to see where enemies are. Are you in danger? Do you need to reposition? Just a quick scan, 1 second, and then you can go back after you've reloaded or after your cooldown's back or whatever, right? Just get in a habit of doing that, and that'll make sure, like, obviously it won't guarantee that you're going to stay alive longer, but it definitely helps your survival chances, your chances of survival. Nice sleep. Nice anti. So again, McCree dies because you quickscope. As soon as you see that Nano Doomfist go for your McCree, you need to be you have to stay scoped in. You cannot quickscope because you're not going to have enough time to keep your, especially since the Doom is nanoed, you're not going to have enough time to keep your McCree up and alive unless you stay scoped in, and you can hope that by spamming left click into the McCree, you can keep him alive long enough for either your team to help him or for the Doom to go away. Instead, you quickscope and he dies. Would your McCree have lived if you didn't quickscope? Who knows? So there, I know this entire game I've been like, don't use nades stupidly, but okay, never mind. That's shield. Yeah, you can't kill him. This is good. Going to point. You're playing in mines, which is good. So at this point, you have a Genji to your left. You have Sigma, Doom, Mercy, Winston, whatever. Everyone else on Doom's dead. So everyone else on the other team is to your right. So you have to make a decision. You don't want we have established that you don't want to play on point. So now you're like, should I go left or do I go right? And that's a decision you have to make in that split second. Since you have no cooldowns, staying with your Mercy might be safer, but then that's also where everyone else is. Whereas if you're confident in your mechanics, you can maybe duel the Genji away or scare him off with just left clicks. So it's hard to say which is better. There's not really much to say about this. Your team kind of just got outplayed. I guess one thing is there's no need to sleep people who are in a grav, especially when it's Ana and Genji, right? What are they gonna do? If they're in a grav, they're gonna be woken up immediately anyways. So if it's like someone who's ulting in the grav, like a McCree or something, then yeah, you can use sleep. But if it's Genji, Ana, why are you gonna use sleep on them? They're already stuck in a grav and they can't move. Just wait till your nade's off cooldown. You know, it's still on cooldown, so you can shoot them, nade, and then shoot punch, right? And then you should be able to kill them both. Instead, you sleep, which takes away time from just simply left clicking. If you just left click them instead of sleep, you would have killed them with this nade here, instead of them being one. And would that have meant you would have won that fight? Who knows? But they'd be down 2, and you'd be even more or less. Because then you'd have 2 tanks and a support on point. They'd have 2 tanks and a support on point. And then it's just who can brawl better. So, because you use that sleep dart, both Ana and Genji got away with like almost no health. And that's just really unfortunate. So, overall, I'd say work on your nades. Don't use it to heal your teammates if you don't have to. Right, like in the beginning with the Reinhardt, you threw it and you could have just shot left clicks into him because Baptiste is also healing him. Try to go for aggressive anti-nades because that's how you win with Ana. Aggressive anti-nades. If you want to just heal people, Baphomet would be a lot more healing. It's utility that's what makes Ana so good. There's a lot of times where you use nade when you could have just left clicked and gotten the same amount of healing, pretty much. Don't play in point. Position yourself so that you're far enough away from your team that you have a wide angle of sight on your team so that you can see them without having to like change your angle of sight very much, your line of sight. And then lastly, don't sleep people who are in graph unless you absolutely have to. Just shoot them and set, especially when they're so low and they're so squishy. Hope that was helpful. Thanks for watching.